Good morning, Wholeness family. Welcome to Tea Time Conversations. I am your host, Melody. Today's tea is a jasmine green tea. It's green tea with jasmine blossoms. Smells amazing. I steeped it for a little over 5 minutes today. Sweetened it with some agave syrup as usual. And the jasmine blossoms smell so wonderful. Like first thing in the morning, there's nothing like the smell of flowers, even if it's in the tea form. Tastes really good. This is one of my go-to green teas. If you're new to the show, green tea is the base tea for a lot of the flavored floral teas. It's like the carrier tea. And to that base of green tea, they'll add other flowers. Today we're doing jasmine. Really good. Yum. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. And this month we're talking about ways of being. We've talked about just standards to set for yourself, keeping your space clean, decorated well, laundry put away, closet organized, mindset, balancing your chakras, which align to your desires. Like your root chakra is your desire for safety and food, basic needs. Then your sacral chakra for creativity, then your solar plexus, then your heart chakra, then your throat chakra, your need to speak your truth, be your authentic self. If it's not balanced, if you're not speaking your truth, it gets clogged up, it gets blocked. And so you have issues with your thyroid, low self-esteem, you get walked all over. You're not speaking your truth. You're not standing in your leadership. You're not standing up for yourself. Then you have your third eye chakra and your crown chakra. All that is in the group. Go ahead and search for the hashtag, or you could just search for the name crown chakra, root chakra, and all the information there will come up. I also posted the yoga positions, the foods to eat to balance your chakra as well. So today, to round out the week, we're going to talk about journaling. And as on the show before, I mentioned that I have my journals right here. I have a gratitude journal and a business journal that I keep in my little meditation corner right here. And I keep this pen on top of it. So whenever it's time to journal, I know where everything is. So for those of you who are not familiar with the concept, we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to kind of dive into some helpful tips to get you started. So when you were a teenager, you might have kept a diary, probably hidden under your bed, in your closet. I had mine in my drawer, and it was a place for you to confess your struggles and fears without judgment or punishment. It's a place to get clarity, just like get the words from your head onto the paper, leave it there until you can revisit it, or as you're writing, you may get some clarity, you may see some things that you may not have seen if you didn't write it down. There's such power in writing things down because you're committing the thought. You're making the thought into things by writing it down. The world seemed clearer with writing in my diary. But as I grew up into adulthood, went to college and all that, I just stopped journaling, stopped writing in my diary because I just was busy with life, studying, exams, all that, and then launch into the career and then children. It was after, let's see, after Tariq was born. And I think I moved to this house. He was like 8 years old. I started journaling again. And I missed it. I looked back at my old journals. Some of the things I see, I, smile. I'm like, oh, so cute. Or I'm like, really, Melody? You get to look from a different place at what you were going through back then with different eyes. So it's interesting to see my growth in my thoughts and what I need and how I express it has changed a lot. So writing your diary these days is called journaling, a very fancy name that implies something really thought-filled. And it's a great way to get clarity, write down what you're struggling with, help you take care of your depression, anxiety, control your emotions, and improve your mental health. It also is a good way for you to, when you write daily, to track any symptoms of your day-to-day feelings and what happens so that you can see what your triggers are. I'm going to give you an example. So if you are someone who's an employee and your boss comes to you and say, Hi Shane, thanks for joining us today. So if you are an employee and your boss comes and says, I think we need to set up a sales strategy for XYZ. In your mind, he doesn't mean we like you and him. He means you to do all the work. And that's a trigger for you. It makes you feel, 1, irritated that he's not forthright. 2, stressed out because on top of all that you have to do, you're now being assigned another task. If you journal about that, you can recognize what those triggers are and have things in place to support you. If you know that your regional person is coming down or your boss is going to come to you to do a whole thing, do a preemptive strike. He's going to come and say it the way he says it. So use that only as information and don't let it mean anything about you personally, because you already know that you're the one who's going to be doing the work. So just either speak up, call him on it and say you need to participate as well, or you can go ahead and start the process ahead of time and just laugh at him coming to say we need to do. You have a choice, but you won't know what those triggers are if you're not paying attention to them. And with the busyness of life, one of the ways to kind of get information is to write it down. So I have 4 steps that I want to share with you on what I use for journaling. The first one is a fun one for me, and that's shopping for my journal. I go to places like Home Goods, Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx. They have all these cutesy little journals. Like this one, I'm really into gardening and flowers and natural foods and butterflies and all that stuff. So I got this one that has different kinds of leaves and flowers in different colors. It's very cheery. I also have a journal for my business. I'm a little bit more, I guess, serious when it comes to business. So this one is great in color, but it has a dream catcher because I absolutely adore dream catchers. And this is in gold. I have big dreams for my business and it means something to me. So this spoke to me immediately. You can do the same to get your journal. Whatever speaks to you. If you don't like any decorative things on there, get a plain one. If you like it to leather bound, they have those as well. If you want inspirational words on it, they have those. I've even gotten a journal that has a little clip that you flip over the edges like a strap and lock it on this side. And then I tied a vintage key, almost like a skeleton key with a piece of lace. And it looked very antique, very Victorian. Hey Sam, thanks for joining me today. It looked very Victorian. So get the journal that speaks to you. Those are the places that I get mine from. I'm sure Amazon has like 5 million of them. Choose the one, but choose the one that speaks to you. One that you're not going to be afraid that somebody's going to judge you if they see it, because what do you care? It's your journal. Number 2, make it easy to write by keeping a pen next to your journal. And here in my little meditation corner, that's what I do. This is how I put it down next to this little cushion here. Boom. Both journals, right after I'm done meditating, I do gratitude first and then business, and then I put it back down like this. So whenever I want to journal, it's right here. The third is to journal every day just for a few minutes. You don't have to do a whole dissertation on world peace if you don't want to. Sometimes I do a few sentences. Sometimes I do a whole page. And sometimes, I don't know. Let me share one with you. This is fine. July 6th. I'm so grateful for connection, spirits connecting and serving each other. Use me, Lord, to serve you, to help people to be whole, to help them see that they are loved, enough, cared for, and not alone. That's all I wrote. That's it. And a heart. I always put a heart on the end of mine. You don't have to. Go with whatever feels good to you. Sometimes I have specific things about my kids, about my garden, and I just, about life, about my health, and I just write that. If you're not sure what to write, I'm going to share with you 10 journal prompts, and there's 5 million of them on Pinterest or Google that you can find. And the journal prompts kind of help you to know what to start writing on the paper. The easiest is to make a list of the emotions you're feeling right now in this moment. You're sad, you're excited, you're joyous, you're puzzled, you're curious, and why? And what are the circumstances that led you to feel this way? And what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what your thoughts are about it. Write that down. Next, list 3 things that made you feel anxious today. For me, anxiety comes with, of course, finances. Most people have that. And I think sales and what customers can I call today? What offer can I make today? What promotions can I post today? That causes some anxiety for me. Number 3, is your anxiety tied to a memory or experience? Now, this could be something really deep. Oftentimes, the ways we're being is tied back to situations from childhood. And if you are not comfortable enough in diving deep into that by yourself, sitting and journaling about it, writing what comes up for you about it, then I would recommend going to talk to a professional. It's not a sign of weakness. In fact, your vulnerability is power. So feel free to reach out to a professional. There's professionals now that do this virtually. So you are in the comfort and safety of your home, and you can talk to someone or over the phone. But the point is to recognize it and deal with it. Number 4, Do you have a good support system for your anxiety? I have the most amazing mother and sister on the planet. And if I have a problem, I can go to them, and their personality is different from mine, so I get a different perspective on it. Who do you have in your life like that? Reach out to them, talk with them, and then journal about it. List 10 things that made you smile today. For me, it's waking up. I get another chance to go after my dreams, see my kids, go outside to the garden, be around my plants, my scented candle. Once you start doing a list of things to be grateful for, before you know it, you have like a whole 2 pages, because your brain goes out and seeks, what else is she grateful for? And then you're listing things, and more things are coming up. That's the best one. What else I have on my list here? Number 6, what are you most looking forward to? Number 7, your top 3 priorities. Number 8, do your actions match your words? That's a big one. Are you a man or a woman of your word? And it's not an easy thing to notice about yourself, because everybody likes to think they honor their word, but I know that I don't always honor mine. My non-negotiables is meditating every morning and journaling. I find myself doing the meditation more than the journaling. Does that mean I'm not in integrity with my word? Yes. Am I going to beat myself up about it? No. I just recommit to doing it better, and then I actually do the things that allow me to get to it in time and do it. Life and all this is just a practice. It's not like a one and done. You can't just say, I honor my word all the time, when in reality you don't. And if you're not sure, talk to people. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, and they will tell you, if you're not like a controlling super egomaniac where they can't speak to you. If you make the environment so that they can talk to you, then they'll tell you, yes, your integrity with your word most of the time, or all the time, or some of the time, or none of the time. Just be open to hearing what they have to say. See it as information, not judgment, and then make a change. And number 9, one thing you learned about yourself last year, or last week, or last month, or yesterday. Because you're always finding things out about yourself, especially if you take the time to get quiet and be with yourself, not like with an entourage around you or always doing things. Just sitting and being quiet, being still, and just being open to what comes up. And number 10 is to write down a good idea you have. I believe like 5,000% that God has given you a gift. And if he's given you the gift to do whatever the thing is, he's also given you the tools to do it. So sit down and write what your talents are, what your abilities are, what you're good at. And good ideas will come. Write them down. And take inspired action to explore them, to create them, to make them. You never know. This could be like a great way to do something you enjoy that's also bringing you financial abundance. You never know. Check it out, write about it. You never know. And number 4, as far as the steps. So my step number 3 had 10 steps to it. So my final number 4 is you can draw or paint in your journal. Or you can put dried flowers, or you can take a picture of your face and how you're feeling. And that's a fun one. If you're feeling happy, you can take a picture of your happy face. If you're feeling sad or confused, and some point in the future, you look back at your facial expressions and read what you're saying, you get insight about yourself and how you're being. I am going to start putting dried flowers in mine because I love wildflowers, I love herbs, and I'm going to start doing that. So that is it for today with my tips on journaling. Post in the comments what landed for you today, what you thought was interesting, what you didn't know, or if you already journal, how you feel about journal. Do you want to encourage other people to do it? Do you journal in any specific way? Do you set your atmosphere for journaling? Like, do you need a candle? Do you need music? Or do you just need to be outside? All right. This show, Tea Time Conversation, is here Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. for, 15 minutes or so. I will either read a book or share some content with you. And oftentimes I will make a post after the live with whatever helpful information I think that I can provide to you. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel From Got to Your Belly. Hit the notification button so that whenever I post a video, whether it's on gardening tips or I'm in the kitchen making something delicious and plant-based, you can jump on over there, watch it, get the recipe, and try it yourself. All right, my friends, take care and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for joining me.